Doje, Daosa, said my mother as she pulled away the warm blankets as my two sisters and I snuggled on the mattress. It was a cold, snowy day in Cedar Ridge along the Echo Cliffs of the Navajo Nation. We had woken up early to get ready for school, and as I slowly focused in the dim light of the kerosene lamps, I saw my mom expertly patting the dough between her fingers to make tortilla bread. And then my father was nearby, poking the fire stick into the fire as the piñon sap crackled. So we got up and got ourselves ready, and I could smell the frying potatoes and Spam. Yes, we love Spam too. My father said, he said, go ahead and wash your faces. The water is hot. He had just taken some snow from outside and melted it on the fire stove. My mom was now sitting on a chair with my baby sister who was in a cradle board and gently hushing, wishy wo wo, wishy wo wo, as she rocked my baby sister. I was born on the Navajo Nation without electricity or running water, with a strong cultural upbringing and Navajo as my first language. Yat e anolto shik e do shidene. Ahe kwa ashatahos. Attention deho desil. Todach eat nish law to hana bashichin. There's a sane dashiche, do ye the net hachini a dashinale. A quat all a saneshle. I am bitter water, born for near the water. My maternal grandfather is red running into the water, and my maternal grandfather is mini goats. This is how I identify myself as a Dene woman. I am from the Navajo Nation, which is the largest tribe in the United States. I'm also a first-generation college graduate. Today, I'm an associate professor at the University of Arizona in environmental sciences. My parents' teachings taught me to work hard, pray daily, appreciate life, respect others, and take pride in my culture. My passion to do well in school came from witnessing the environmental degradation in my hometown on Black Mesa, Arizona. We lived so close to the mine that one day a mining explosion sparked an ember and blew into the sheep corral, causing the sheep corral to burn down, and we had to move farther away. This background created a desire in my heart to go to college, use my education so I could return back to help my community and contribute to addressing the environmental challenges facing my tribe. However, no one in my family had ever gone to college, and few had the opportunity to even attend school. As children, my parents went to the boarding school and off the reservation. And after they completed their boarding school, they were arranged in marriage. They met the first time they met was the day they were married. Although my parents didn't go to college, I can truly say that was because of them that I was able to pursue higher education. It was because of the college preparation that I received through Upward Bound program that I was able to be accepted into Stanford University. I struggled while I was at Stanford to stay afloat with my peers. It was the first time for me to live in a city, to go to school with affluent students like Chelsea Clinton, Nota Begay, and many others. My father encouraged me, and he instilled within me a pride, and he said, our people survived the long walk, and we continue to live upon this land. The strength our people resides in you as a bitter water woman. This strength gives you the ability to succeed. So whenever doubts come into my mind, I think of what my father said. I will reflect on his teachings and the strength of my people and to survive through the long walk. My path to academia was not so direct. What I describe my path is really a series of connecting tunnels, all the while stubbing my toe along the way. I had good mentors, a lot of bad mentors, but I also had a lot of good peer mentors that were my friends. And I relied on them to help me find my way through that path. But the passion that drove me all this way was addressing the challenges that affect my tribe. And during my graduate school work, I never had a chance to do this. I wasn't able to do this type of research because I was told it wasn't cutting-edge research. But it wasn't until I became a professor that I was able to do this. And that's why I came to the University of Arizona. Because as a land-grant university, there is a mission to connect science with the community. And so the community I chose was Native American communities. And so I really love my job. What really pushes me to work hard and to find those opportunities, partner with tribal communities, and really be guided by the traditional knowledge holders of those communities. I developed the first tribal hydrology extension program in the United States, focusing on 3 areas and bridging the science to the community so that the water shed and the hydrology can be understood to address the water disparities, including lack of access to water, lack of access to data and education. But this only occurs through strong collaborations with the community in a very respectful way that is culturally guided. On August 2015, I was with the newly elected president of the Navajo Nation, briefing him about my programs, when suddenly he was whisked out of the room. The Gold Key mine spill had just occurred. 3 million gallons of acid mine drainage had been released into the Animas River, flowing into the San Juan River into a 275-mile stretch along the Navajo Nation. The Navajo people revere the San Juan River. It is the male deity for them. They use it in many different ways, culturally and spiritually. They also use it for farming. And so in the midst of their growing season, they had to stop farming, and many people lost their crops. They were devastated, not only economically, but also spiritually. The farmers didn't trust using the water again, and tensions flared up when EPA delivered water in oil-tainted tanks. The people had many questions about where the contamination was and how it was going to impact the health of their community. So through the programs that I have established prior, I gathered these questions and was able to develop a fact sheet to answer these questions, and was able to provide that information within 2 weeks of the spill. Through these concerns that were received, I brought together a team from my university and surrounding university partners to address these questions, to focus on human exposure and the environmental contamination. As a result of this outreach, we were able to secure over $1 million to focus primarily on the community's research questions, and the community was the driver in all of this. With many environmental challenges facing our communities today, it's very critical that Indigenous worldviews are included in the science that we do from a holistic perspective and understanding our connection to the natural world. Traditional knowledge of Indigenous people is valuable for understanding the environment. And together, as scientists working respectfully with Indigenous communities, we can collaborate, exchange knowledge, co-produce the knowledge, and work together to find those solutions, as well as having a mutual process for learning through that. The communities agree that it's time to work together to restore the community from the Gold Key mine spill and become more resilient into the future. It fills me with such great pride every year as I see more and more Native American students and first-generation students going to college and graduating. But we have a lot of work to do. We have a long ways to go to increase that number as Native Americans and Indigenous people. But I encourage you, as you all enjoy the rest of the SACNAS conference, to strive to be leaders in your home and in your communities so that we'll continue to grow and develop as people, tribal nations, communities, and continue to pave the way for those younger than us. You are a strong and beautiful people. Take pride in your identity, hold on to your teachings, seize the opportunity to learn. I believe we have only begun, and there's a lifetime of opportunities awaiting us. Thank you so much to the Native Hawaiians for welcoming us here, for SACNAS for this opportunity and this honor to speak today. May you walk in beauty. Ahihe.